Hi, today's insight is connected with the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, curiosity, value, and being liked, being followed, and how social media can play a role in how we create and how we show up to the world. And before I get into that, I just want to share that my name is Jessica, and I'm a co-creator here at Thrive Tribe RI. I recognize that sometimes I'll put content out there and not even say who I am. So there's that. Reminds me of our Reiki shares. If you've been to any of our Reiki shares, you know, usually start and I forget to say my name all the time. So until we get to the end and I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know who I am or what my name is, not who I am. But, you know, anyway, different topic. So this has been coming up because I've been really focusing on value and staying true to what I like to share and what I like to learn and what I feel helps me grow and what I've seen helps other people grow. And it reminds me of Albert Einstein. There's some words that he has in connection to being curious and value. And so when I read his words a few weeks ago, the concept has just been rolling in my mind, and I, make all these connections, and then finally I'm like, okay, get to share this. So that's how this content comes to be. And I love connecting it with chakras and our energy centers because it's something that we all have. We are energy. We all have this universal organizational system of how energy processes. And I like to give real life experiences of how it may show up. And again, my focus is a lot on language. And how we may perceive situations and what energy centers they may be connected to. So going back to the sacral and solar plexus, and value and curiosity, our sacral energy is our creative force energy. This is where the element of water begins to play a role in our lives. This energy starts to get developed when we are in school age. We're starting to get new friends. We're creative. We're fun. We have no filter. We're just adventurous. We're curious. We want to explore. We're starting to hone in on what emotions are. We're trying to see where we have control, where we don't have control. Our parents are still very, very much of an influence in our lives. And so this energy starts to get created there. And again, it's our emotional body. And then the solar plexus is a lot of our personal identity. And this is the element of fire. And this starts to strongly develop a lot when we're at high school age, right? Where we're starting to figure out where do I belong, what, your clique, fitting in, identity and belief systems and values and culture and confidence and self-esteem and personal power and who am I in this reality. So a lot of that energy can be molded now outside of parents and friends. It comes into peers, it comes into workplaces. And so if we are not aware and if we are not conscious of our own thoughts and our own energy and our own personality and how we may be molded, a lot of times we pick up belief systems or emotions about ourselves or about other things or other people and just kind of store it and make that our reality, make that our identity. And what I find is that a lot of times we may be afraid to really step into who we really are and shed all those layers of who we think we should be and really, step into our own creative eternal self is what I want to say. So kind of out there, but it's true. We are so infinite, and sometimes, we can limit ourselves to just this, okay, this is who I am, my name, right? Like I started in the beginning, my name or my title or whatever degree I have. All of those things play a role in how we identify who we are and how we are in this world. So getting back to value and curiosity, and creativity, I find that when we live more authentic and we hone into who we are at the essence, we're better able to tap into this creative energy, this energy that allows us to be passionate about what we do, to enjoy what we do, and to live true to who we are, and to really stand strong, have the confidence to show up as we are. And I think social media plays a big role and factor. It's a big factor in how we decide to identify who we are, what we decide to share, how creative we allow ourselves to be and to get, and how connected we allow ourselves to get, right? So there's a lot of connections and a lot of friends that are online, but if we look at some of the major issues that are affecting humanity, then the first one is loneliness. So there's a disconnection there between being socially connected online on the internet, but being disconnected offline on the outer net, right? And so with social media, you'll notice the words like when someone likes your status or likes your pictures or likes your post, likes your video, follows you, shares. All of those words are so connected to sacral energy. That is so, it plays on the emotional energy. It plays on fitting in, on belonging, right? It plays on, someone likes me, right? That's all sacral energy. So it feeds us, right? It's a news feed. So what are we being fed through this social media platform, and how is it shaping how I show up to the world? How is it shaping how I identify? How is it shaping what I share? Is it allowing me to be creative? Is it allowing me to be true to who I am? Am I in fear of criticism, right? Because that's where the solar plexus comes in. So we may shun down all this creativity and then fall into this fear of criticism of, what are people going to say if I do say this? What are people going to say if I do share this? What are people going to say if, right? And so that's the intellectual concept of how social media can play a role and create anxiety. Studies have shown that it's like a drug, right? You check how many notifications, how many people liked it. I've noticed it's so interesting on Instagram. I guess if you change to like a business profile instead of a personal one, you don't get as much reach, right? So you don't get to as many of your followers as you would if you had a personal one. And I found myself like caught in that of like, oh, that's interesting. Like, not so many people get to see it. So that plays a big toll on a lot of people's minds of when they share content, and then it creates like, you have to share it in a certain way at a certain time because you have to follow that. Come on, it's about value. It's about, just being true and sharing something that's going to add value to the people that are listening, to the people that are reading, because that's how we feed one another, right? That's how we create connections. So if we're creating those connections, what kind of information, what kind of energy is being shared within those connections? That's what's important, not the how many followers and how many likes and how many people shared it and how many views it got and if it went viral or it didn't. It's not a disease. Like, maybe it is, right? So anyway, I just think it's interesting how language is just like how it can just create realities, right? And so how do we use social media as a platform to share and to uplift and to raise consciousness, to raise this vibration so that we can live more in love, we can live more from the heart, we can be more creative, we can stop trying to fit into roles of what I should look like. One of the biggest fears we have is fear of criticism. And so how do we shed that? How do we be true to who we are without that major focus on what people are going to think about who I am? Okay. And so I want to share these words that Albert Einstein shared. I think it was Life magazine, because this for me is like so true in the sense of sharing value. So he said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery each day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. He is considered successful in our day who gets more out of life than he puts in. But a man of value will give more than he receives. And again, that plays so much with the sacral energy of giving and receiving energy. And when we give from a place of love, from a place that brings value, what we get back is priceless. Okay? So stay curious, add value, be you, because the world needs it. Namaste.